Cole lived a quiet life. His small farm sat on the edge of the forest, far from the city lights. Every evening he cooked dinner, helped his little daughter Mira with her studies, and fixed old machines in his workshop that he didn't ask for excitement. He didn't want adventure, he just wanted peace. But that night, everything changed. It started with a sound. A loud boom echoed through the sky like thunder, shaking the windows of his small farmhouse. Cole stepped out onto the porch. The sky above was dark, full of stars, but one star was falling. A ball of fire roared across the sky, trailing smoke and sparks. It looked like a ship burning as it crashed deep into the forest behind his farm. Cole's heart raced. He looked at the sky, then back at the house. Mira was asleep. The forest was quiet again. But someone had fallen from the stars. Cole grabbed his flashlight and rifle. He walked through the field, boots crunching the dry grass. As he reached the edge of the forest, he smelled smoke. He moved quickly between trees, following the trail of broken branches and scorched leaves. Then he saw it, a crashed ship, half buried in the ground. It wasn't human. Its surface was smooth, silver-blue metal, pulsing with a soft glow. Lights flickered. Steam hissed from the back. Something moved inside. Cole raised his rifle and stepped closer. A door on the side of the ship slid open with a quiet hiss. Inside, a figure lay on the floor, tall, slim, wrapped in a dark suit. Her skin was pale gold. Her hair was silver and long. She wasn't bleeding, but she looked weak. She was beautiful, and clearly not from Earth. She opened her eyes slowly. Bright blue, unnatural, almost glowing. She looked at Cole. "Help me," she whispered. Then she fainted. Cole stood frozen for a second. This wasn't real. It couldn't be real. But it was. He looked around. The forest was silent, but his gut said it wouldn't stay that way for long. He didn't know who this woman was, or what she was doing here, but she needed help. He slung his rifle over his shoulder and stepped inside the broken ship. She was heavier than she looked. As he lifted her into his arms, he felt the hum of something strange, alien technology. He carried her back through the forest. Back at the farmhouse, he laid her on the old couch in his workshop. Mira was still asleep upstairs. He couldn't let her see this. Not yet. He checked the woman's body for wounds. No blood, just strange bruises on her arms and neck. Her suit had symbols on it, glowing slowly, like a heartbeat. He touched one. A soft voice spoke in a strange language. He pulled back quickly, whatever this was. It was beyond him. An hour passed. She didn't wake up. Cole sat in his chair watching her sleep. He had so many questions. Who was she? Why did she crash here? Was she dangerous? And most important, was someone coming after her? The clock ticked past midnight. Cole stood to check on her again. Suddenly, the lights in the workshop flickered. The radio on the shelf crackled. A cold breeze passed through the room, even though the windows were closed. Then he heard it, a soft clicking sound outside. He turned off the light. The room fell into darkness. He moved to the window, rifle in hand, and peeked outside. In the moonlight, just beyond the trees, something moved. Not a man, not an animal. Something with long legs, silent, watching. His grip tightened. Whoever or whatever she was running from had found them. He stepped back from the window, heart pounding. The woman on the couch suddenly gasped. Her eyes snapped open, glowing bright. She sat up fast, panicked. "They're here," she whispered. Cole nodded slowly. "Yeah," he said, loading his rifle. "I think they are." Morning came slowly. The sky over the farm was gray, the kind of quiet morning that felt like it was holding its breath. Inside the workshop, Cole stared at the strange woman lying on the couch. She hadn't moved all night, except for the whisper, "They're here." Now her eyes were open again, watching him. "You didn't run," she said softly. Cole folded his arms. "You crashed into my trees. It seemed rude not to offer help." Her lips twitched, almost a smile. "You're not scared of me?" "I don't know what you are yet," he replied. "But scared, no. Curious, yeah." She sat up slowly. "Where is the cube?" Cole blinked. "The what?" She stood, a little shaky. "The black cube. It was inside my ship. It must not fall into the wrong hands." "I didn't see it," Cole said, but that was a lie. He had seen it, and he'd hidden it. 3 hours earlier, after bringing her home, Cole had gone back to the crash site. He needed to cover his tracks, maybe pull some tech before authorities or scavengers found it. That's when he saw it, a black cube about the size of a loaf of bread. Smooth, cold, floating slightly off the ground. When he touched it, his fingers tingled. It whispered in a voice too low to understand. Cole didn't like it, so he wrapped it in cloth and buried it under the barn floor. Now, back in the workshop, the woman looked serious. "If they find that cube, they will kill everyone here," she said. Cole frowned. "Who are they?" She didn't answer. Instead, she reached for the workbench and picked up a wrench. Not like a stranger, but like someone who knew exactly what she was doing. "I need to fix my ship," she said. "Can I use your tools?" Cole raised an eyebrow. "You crash on my land, steal my couch, and now you want my toolbox too." She looked up at him with tired, strange eyes. "Please," he sighed. "Fine. But you tell me your name." There was a pause. Then she said, "Lyra." Over the next few days, Lyra stayed hidden in the barn and workshop. Mira, Cole's daughter, kept asking questions. "Who's that lady? Why doesn't she eat meat? Why does her hair shine like stars?" Cole just said, "She's a traveler." "Don't tell anyone," Mira nodded. She liked secrets. Soon, she and Lyra were talking like old friends. Mira showed her how to toast bread. Lyra showed Mira how to draw circles in the air using a small glowing crystal. Mira laughed when it tickled her fingers. Cole watched them. It felt strange. Like something was changing. His quiet life wasn't quiet anymore. One evening, Cole noticed Lyra outside, fixing part of her ship she had dragged into the barn. "You're not just a traveler," he said. "You know machines better than I do." She didn't look up. "I used to build warships. Now I run from them." Cole narrowed his eyes. "Who exactly is chasing you?" Lyra finally looked at him. Her voice was cold now. "Slavers. Empire men. I escaped with something they want. If they find me here, they'll burn this place to the ground." Cole stared at her for a moment. "I've got a child. You should have told me that before." Lyra looked down. "I didn't ask for your help." "No," Cole said, "but you got it anyway." That night, something happened. Mira was already asleep. Cole and Lyra sat in the barn, near the broken parts of the ship. A sound cut through the silence, click, 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 like metal tapping stone. Cole stood up fast, grabbed his rifle. Lyra's face turned pale. "They found us." Outside, the shadows moved. 3 shapes, tall, silent, wearing black armor, their helmets smooth and round. Their eyes glowed red. They weren't human. Cole didn't wait. He fired a warning shot into the trees. The creatures scattered, fast as wind. One of them dropped something, a drone, insect-shaped, still buzzing weakly. Lyra picked it up. "They're watching now," she said. "And they won't stop." Cole exhaled. "Then we don't stop either." Inside, in the dark, the cube under the barn began to hum. It was waking up. Cole was good at reading people. Years of loss, war, and quiet farming had made him sharp. But Lyra confused him. One moment, she was soft-spoken and quiet, helping Mira plant carrots in the garden. The next, she was scanning the skies like a soldier waiting for an ambush. She said she was just a runaway. But Cole knew better. That morning, he woke up before the sun. Mira was still sleeping. He stepped outside with his coffee, breathing the cold air. But something felt off. The barn door was open. He grabbed his rifle and moved silently across the yard. Inside, he found Lyra standing near the old wooden floor where the cube was buried. She wasn't touching it, just staring. "How did you know it was there?" Cole asked quietly. She didn't turn around. "It sings, only to me." Cole didn't like the sound of that. "What is it?" Lyra paused. "It's not a weapon. It's older than war. It's alive." That word made Cole grip his rifle tighter. Alive? Later that day, while Mira played with her toys, Cole sat across from Lyra in the kitchen. "You've been lying to me," he said. She didn't argue. "I found this," he added, sliding a small cracked data chip across the table. "Inside one of the drones that attacked us." Lyra picked it up. As soon as she touched it, it sparked to life. A blurry hologram floated in the air. A wanted poster. It showed her face, her real name, Lyra 7. Class A asset, Experimental Division, Varn Dominion. The words hit like a hammer. Cole stepped back. "You weren't just a builder. You were built." Lyra looked down. "I wasn't made like a robot. I was born, but I was trained, modified, used. For what?" Cole asked. She looked up slowly. "To think faster than machines. To kill without emotion. To obey." Cole stared at her. The kind woman who had been helping Mira draw stars on the barn wall was some kind of engineered assassin, Lyra continued. "They taught us everything. Technology, weapons, war, but not how to be human." Mira came running in, holding a tiny piece of metal. "Look what I found in the grass." Lyra's eyes widened. She grabbed it gently from Myra's hand. It was a tracker, blinking red. "They've tagged the house," Lyra said, standing quickly. "We don't have much time." Cole rushed outside, rifle ready. He scanned the sky and saw it. A stealth ship, shimmering in and out of sight, heading their way. "Fast! Get Myra into the cellar," he shouted. Lyra didn't argue. She grabbed Mira and ran. Cole ran to the barn, grabbed the cube from under the floor, and stuffed it into his old military bag. Minutes later, the ship arrived. It didn't land. It hovered above the trees like a hawk. A loudspeaker crackled. "Return the asset and the artifact. No harm will come to the child." Cole's blood boiled. He stepped outside, rifle in hand. "You'll have to go through me," he shouted. The ship didn't reply, but 3 figures dropped from it, the same black armored ones as before. Only this time, one of them spoke. "You are protecting a war criminal. She belongs to us." Cole didn't flinch. "She doesn't belong to anyone." Suddenly, from the side of the barn, Lyra attacked. She moved like lightning, flipping, twisting, taking down one soldier in seconds. Cole fired at the second. Mira screamed from inside the house. The third soldier charged Cole, but the cube in his bag glowed and a shockwave blasted the attacker backward like a rag doll. Silenced. The ship pulled away, retreating. For now. That night Lyra sat on the porch with a blanket over her shoulders. Her face was bruised but calm. Cole sat beside her. "I didn't know what you were," he said. "Now I do, and I don't care." Lyra looked at him. "Why?" "Because Myra trusts you," he said. "And so do I." Inside the house, the cube pulsed softly in the dark. It wasn't done yet. Asterisk. Cole had seen war before, but war had never come to his home. Now, it was here, in the wind, in the sky, in the silence before dawn. He could feel it. The next morning, the fields were too quiet, got no birds. No breeze. Even the leaves didn't move. Cole stood on the roof of the barn, binoculars in hand. He saw it, far off in the sky, a dark speck, hovering like a shark before a kill. "They're watching," he said. Lyra nodded beside him. Her body was still healing from the last fight, but her mind was sharp. She looked at the cube resting in a metal case. It glowed with a slow, steady pulse. "They won't wait long." Cole climbed down and got to work. He opened the old shed. Behind the barn, the one Mira wasn't allowed to go near. Inside were pieces of his old life. Traps, shields, short-range pulse grenades, even a half-broken exosuit from Earth's defense corps. He used to be a soldier. Not by choice, but by survival. Now he had to become one again. Inside the house, Mira helped Lyra move supplies. She was brave, but her eyes showed fear. "Are we gonna be okay?" she asked. Lyra knelt beside her. "We're not running this time. We stand together." Mira nodded, clutching the small wooden star she'd carved with her dad. As the sun set, Cole activated the perimeter traps, pressure mines near the fence line, hidden nets in the orchard, and EMP wires near the... Well, the farm was no longer just a home. It was a fortress. Then, just after dark, they came. 3 ships, sleek and silent, dropped out of the clouds like wolves. Black armored soldiers rappelled to the ground. 10... No, 20. They didn't speak. They moved like machines. Cole was waiting in the barn loft, pulse rifle steady. As the first soldier stepped near the door, the trap snapped. A wall of electricity lit the night, dropping 2 of them instantly. Lyra moved like lightning. Her blade, crafted from alien metal, sliced through armor like paper. Cole fought. From the shadows, every shot he fired was fast, sharp, focused. This wasn't just about survival. This was his home. But the enemy was smarter this time. 2 broke away, heading for the house. Mira. Cole saw them too late. He shouted, "Lo, I are inside." She didn't hesitate. She sprinted across the yard, faster than any human. She crashed through the front door just as the soldiers reached Mira's room. Inside, it was chaos, smoke, red lights, Mira hiding under the bed. One soldier raised a weapon. Lyra screamed, a sound not human, and threw her blade across the room. It struck clean through the helmet. The other turned, but Lyra was already on him. She didn't fight like a soldier. She fought like a storm. Outside, Cole took a hit, a blast to the shoulder. He fell behind the tractor, bleeding. One soldier approached. Gun raised. Cole reached for his last grenade, but it was gone. He braced himself. Then boom, the soldier flew backward. Metal flying. Behind him stood Mira. Small, brave, holding one of Lyra's shock grenades. Cole coughed out a laugh. "That's my girl." By morning, the battlefield was quiet. The ships were gone. The enemy had retreated, leaving behind broken armor, scorched earth, and silence. Cole sat on the porch, arm in a sling, watching the sunrise. Lyra sat beside him. Her hair was a mess. Her face bruised, but she smiled. "We won," she said. "For now," Cole replied. "They'll come again." She looked at the Panga cube. It was glowing brighter than before. "Yes, but next time, we'll be ready." Inside the house, Mira drew a picture. 3 stick figures. A man, a woman, and a little girl, standing on a farm under stars. She called it, "My Family." The battle was over. Smoke no longer filled the sky, and the soil had cooled where energy weapons once burned. But inside the farmhouse, the air was just as heavy. Cole stood at the kitchen sink, arm in a sling, staring at the horizon through the cracked window. His hand trembled, not from pain, but from everything he couldn't say. Behind him, Lyra moved quietly. No armor, no blade, just a long coat borrowed from his closet. She didn't walk like a soldier anymore. She moved slower now, like someone learning to breathe again. She didn't speak either. Until that night. It was cold. The storm came suddenly, lightning flashing across the hills. Mira was asleep in her room, buried under blankets and stuffed animals. The wind howled like something alive. Cole lay on the couch, trying not to think. Then he heard the soft sound of footsteps. Lyra. She stood in the doorway, eyes unreadable, holding a blanket in her hands. "You should rest in your bed," she said. "I'm fine here," he muttered. She stepped closer. You saved me. You gave me shelter. You bled for me, she said. Now I repay it the way my people do. He blinked. And how's that? She sat beside him, voice calm. We sleep, beside those who fight for us. Body to body, skin to skin, no lies, no walls. Cole stared at her. You mean like sleep? He asked awkwardly. Yes. She said simply, then added, it's not. What do you think? It's a bonding, a joining, a truth-telling between souls. If I share warmth with you, I cannot lie to you after. He hesitated, but something in her voice, honest, soft, strangely ancient, made him nod. He moved aside. She lay next to him, back to back. No words, only warmth. Only silence, only breath. Morning came. Lyra was gone from the couch, but in the kitchen, she waited. Dressed in his spare shirt, calm, still, like someone preparing for war, but not with weapons. With words. You shared space with me, she said as he walked in. Now you must answer. Answer what? Will you marry me? Cole froze. She wasn't joking, not even a smile. You're serious, he said. In my culture, sharing warmth after battle is the final step. It is binding. You are now mine, and I am yours. He stared at her, jaw slightly open. That's not how things work here. She tilted her head. Then how do they work? You touch someone, care for them, share silence, but do not bond? He rubbed his face. It's more complicated. Why? She asked, voice soft now. You fight beside me. You carry your child alone. You bury your fears in silence. But you never ask to be held. He looked away. Because she was right. That night he stood outside, staring at the stars. Mira slept peacefully. The wind had calmed. Lyra stepped beside him. I don't want to trap you, she said. But I cannot undo the bond now. You live in me, and when I go, I will carry your name in my blood. Cole turned to her. When you go? She nodded toward the cube, now brighter than ever. The signal it sends is growing. Soon others will come, some good, some not, and I have to lead them away from you. He shook his head. You think I'll just let you leave? She smiled. Just barely. If you say yes to the bond, I won't. Inside, Myra's voice rang out. Did you say you're getting married? They both looked through the window. She was wide awake, holding her stuffed bear. Cole sighed. Not yet. Mira grinned. Well, you should. She's way cooler than your toolbox. Asterisk. The ship was ready. For the first time since the crash, it stood whole again, repaired, silent, waiting. Silver hull gleaming in the morning sun. Cole stood beside it, arms crossed, staring like it might explode. Lyra approached from behind, her boots quiet on the barn floor. It's done, she said. Cole didn't answer. He just nodded. Inside the house, Mira packed a small bag. Are we going to space? She asked. Cole looked at her for a long moment, then said, I don't know yet. That evening, they sat by the fire. The cube pulsed next to Lyra like a living heart. Its signals now strong enough to reach deep space. Soon, someone would answer. Lyra stared into the flames. I came to this planet with nothing. I thought I would die alone in that forest. She turned to Cole. But now, I'm not alone. And that makes leaving harder. Cole poked the fire. Then don't. She shook her head. If I stay, they'll keep coming. Earth isn't ready for what's out there. I have to lead them away. You don't have to do anything alone, he said. You think you're protecting us, but maybe you're running again. Silence. Then Mira walked in with a drawing. 3 stick figures standing on a round planet. Above them, a speech bubble. We can go together. That night, Lyra took Cole to the ship. It hummed quietly. Alive, she placed her palm on the cube. A blue light scanned her. A soft voice spoke in her language. The ship unlocked. It was ready to fly. She looked back at Cole. "There's a choice now," she said. "This ship can take us anywhere. But once we leave Earth's gravity, there's no turning back." Cole didn't speak. He walked to the window, looked at the land, the tools, the fence. The apple tree he planted the year Mira was born. "This is the only life I've ever known." Lyra stepped closer. "Then stay," he turned sharply. "That's not what I meant." He walked over to her, voice low. "I'm not afraid to leave the planet. I'm afraid of losing what made me human." Lyra's eyes softened. "Then take it with you," she whispered. Suddenly, alarms blared in the ship. A signal had returned, but not from enemies. This was something else. Something older. Something Lyra didn't recognize. She stared at the cube. It spoke again, but not in her language. It spoke in Myra's. The child stepped forward, drawn to the voice. "It wants us to follow," she said, her voice soft. "To where?" Cole asked. Mira looked up. "Home, but not hers or yours. Somewhere new." The cube glowed brighter. Lyra looked at Cole. "The ship can carry us, you, me, Mira." He didn't move. She stepped closer. "You don't have to decide tonight, but when the ship lifts, it lifts once." That night, Cole sat alone under the apple tree. Looking at the stars, one hand on the soil, the other holding Lyra's old blade. He didn't sleep. He just watched the sky and wondered what part of it now belonged to him. It began just before dawn. Not with light, but with a sound low, distant, like thunder behind glass. Cole opened his eyes. He already knew. They found us. Lyra was already suited up. The cube glowed on her chest, not carried anymore, but linked, floating just inches from her skin, like it was alive and listening. "They're not just after me now," she said. Cole looked at her calmly. "No, they're coming for us." High above the earth, the sky broke open. 3 massive ships appeared, blotting out the stars. Sleek, silent, designed to erase a target without warning. But Earth had warning now, because Cole was done running. He went to the shed one last time. Inside, the full exosuit, old, rusted. Earth tech from the last colony war. Still functional. He powered it up, slipped in. The arms hissed, the boots locked. A QD activated. Green light blinked. "Ready," Cole smiled. "So am I." Mira stood at the ship's hatch, holding her drawing close to her chest. Lyra knelt beside her. "If something happens," Mira shook her head. "Nothing's gonna happen. You're both coming back." Then the sky turned red. The enemy landed, not soldiers this time, machines. Armored walkers, crawlers, things with no eyes but too many weapons. A voice echoed from the sky. "Return the asset. Surrender the human child. The rest may survive." Cole stepped forward, suit glowing. "No deal." The battle that followed was nothing like before. Cole led with strategy, laying traps the machines couldn't predict. His exosuit, though old, tore through the first wave like steel lightning, but they kept coming. Lyra moved like a storm. The cube gave her more than energy, it gave her instinct. She saw movements before they happened. Together, they were almost winning. Almost. Then Mira screamed. One of the machines had broken through. It stood at the ship's entrance. Claw raised. Too far. Too fast. But then, the cube left Lyra's body. It flew straight into the machine and exploded, not with fire, but with light. Everything stopped. The machines, the sky, even the ship itself. Time froze. In that white light, Cole found himself standing nowhere. Beside him stood Lyra, Mira, and something else. A voice, deep, gentle, older than the stars. "You chose each other. That is rare. You were built to destroy, Lyra, but you gave yourself to protect. You were trained to survive, Cole, but you stayed to love. You are ready." Then the light vanished. The machines were gone. The ships retreated. And in the silence, the cube reformed. But different now. Smaller. It floated to Myra's hands. She looked at her father. It says ... We can go now. The ship opened. Lyra took Cole's hand. Mira took his other. No more battles. No more hiding. Just a new path. Into the stars, the engines. Achoo-mmed. The ship lifted from the farm. Below them, Earth grew smaller. The apple tree. The broken barn. The place they called home. And above them, everything.